Looking for love and dating apps and DMs. Looking for love and nothing is sticking. Seeing red flags, getting catfished. What's up? Gotta do now that I found two gals and that'll help me. I just can't wait to get adjacent to you. Looking for love.
Ready?
Yummer.
Welcome back, y'all. Welcome to Adjacent. We are in studio today at Record ATX, and we just were lucky enough to have breakfast with this beautiful lady, Benita.
Benita.
How long have we known Benita?
Since we were born.
Is that how long we've known you?
Let's see. Tim and I became friends in junior high.
Tim is our
middle
brother.
Yeah.
And so,
Benita has been a main character of our lives since we were in elementary school.
Yes. Yes.
I
And
think that's fair.
you lived in South Austin when you were growing
Yes.
up. Where?
Our house is, my mom still lives there, but it's probably about a mile and a half away from y'all. We're right across from Betachek.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right up the hill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we lived all around that area.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we went from Trey's Way to all over. And Blackberry, you name it. But yeah, Betachek's closing.
No, actually, yesterday we were told they're not doing any closures.
Oh, really? All 13 are going to stay open?
That's weird. Okay, well, good.
Betachek's back.
Betachek's back.
Oh.
Go Bobcats. Also at breakfast, Benita blew our mind because she
Yes.
told us that our signs are not really our signs anymore. She read a New York Times article.
She shook our whole world.
She shook our whole world. Shelly has been living in her Virgo world forever.
And I'm scared if I find out I'm a different sign that I'm going to.
she's worried she's going to be a Gemini.
Yeah. It's like- we'll share the link with everybody.
Yeah. So this article came out
because
and
it's not fair for us to be destroyed, but everybody else gets to keep living in their
fine.
fake world.
Maybe if I was a different sign, I'd be a completely. What if I turned into like a mogul?
A
mogul.
Yeah.
Suddenly you're
Yeah.
I'm
different.
like, I'm not a Pisces
I'm going to have to
anymore.
go back and watch that comedians. This is how different signs react to things. I love that guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go back and watch all of them again and pay attention to a different sign.
So your birth sign, according to the past, was a Leo.
Yes.
And you're known for being bold, confident, and charismatic, often embodying leadership qualities and a flair for the dramatic, it says.
Well, and if you've ever met Benita, she has like a lion's mane, and she
All right,
has this
Leo, living in your
gorgeous,
Leo.
beautiful hair, and just, I mean, she just roar.
But Benita said that, according to the New York Times article, that she's actually a Cancer.
Yes.
And
So it's like 2 weeks off or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh!
And
Are you feeling a little shook by this?
I wasn't so much shook as much as I was like, it can't be possibly right, because kind of like you, I can't imagine being any other sign
Yeah.
other than what I am,
Yeah.
because it
I am
totally
what I
fits.
am.
Yes, it totally fits me. You know, everything about it is so spot on.
Well, I
So,
felt, is it the chicken or the egg? Is like, did we realize, oh, I'm a Virgo and we adopted? Or is it seriously?
I don't know.
Like-
I'm surprised you don't have a Virgo tattoo.
I mean, would you
somewhere.
have a different haircut if you were, I mean, like,
I don't
what
even
would
know like anything
happen?
about like that the Cancer sign. You
Oh,
know what I
it
mean? So I
says
wouldn't even be
that-
able to
Let's see,
what
let's
could I
see.
possibly have been?
It says that you are loyal and you have strong emotional insight. You have a strong intuition if you're a Cancer. You're very emotionally attached with sentimentality, sense of humor, protective, care, charm, creativity. I find Cancers to be very emotional. All the Cancers that I've ever met are extremely emotional.
Well, it's interesting that you say that. Because,
Sensitive,
Yeah,
even.
because we do at our work, and I'd done it before. It's called the Clifton Strength Finders, and it's the idea behind. It's one of those personality tests like Myers-Briggs
Yeah.
and some of the other ones. But it's the idea behind it is that you concentrate on the things that you're good at. You know, these are my strengths, and so why spend all your time and effort trying? I mean, obviously, if you have opportunities to
Grow
to
and
change,
change,
yes,
yeah.
you should. But instead lean into the things that you're good at, and then you'll be successful because you're doing something that comes natural to you.
Yeah.
And so I've always, like I said, I did it a while ago, a long time ago. And then I had to do it when I started here because it's a big deal, at my new company. You put your strengths on the bottom of your tagline or your signature line.
She, they,
and then yes, all your strengths. And my number one strength, by far, it's very, very clear, is a woo, which is I'm trying to remember what it actually stands for. It's basically works well with others, basically, something like that. But woos are very compassionate. They're very. I think of kind of like a mother. Strength. They're concerned about people fitting in. They're concerned about people, being successful and, mentoring them and making sure that, if they come, they don't know anybody, that someone sits with them or someone talks to them. They also are really good about engaging and trying to build a connection because they want everybody to work well together.
Which is so true about you.
That is 100%. So true.
So, but it kind of sounds like the cancer part, And so
they have a tender heart, it says.
Oh, that is true.
Wow.
And so
yes,
you're gonna have to
very
go get some
vindictive.
new
So yes, maybe
rock.
it's like you were talking about the moon and maybe my moon is in the Cancer house or whatever. Because I think the Leo part, we kind of talked about it at breakfast. Some of it is because my father had a very strong personality and he was very much a commanding leader type presence. And then I'm the firstborn, in my family, and then I'm also the first grandchild on my mother's side. So I grew up again, taking care of, babysitting and taking care of my younger cousins. And so I think some of those leadership traits and some of that is based on how I grew up.
Yes.
Maybe not
your
necessarily
child order.
Yeah. Maybe not necessarily my star signs.
I mean, we're going to have to reevaluate our whole friggin' lives now.
I said, I refuse to believe I'm anything but a Leo. But maybe I just need to learn
I'm
more.
going to laugh so
maybe
hard
you're
if
a
you
Leo
cut
with
off
some
that
cancer.
mane. And you're like,
all of a sudden she has a really short haircut and a buzz cut.
Well, and it's
You have
I don't
beautiful
ever
hair.
think about my hair that much, but people
Oh my
always
gosh,
talk
I
about. They're always that's
cannot.
one of the things that people always comment on it, which is so funny because I never even notice people's hair.
Benita, if I had your hair, I would.
You look like Farrah Fawcett.
I mean, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
Well, thank you very, very much.
I would have to all the time and move my head around and make sure everybody saw this hair. It's I'm sorry, you guys. Hold on a second.
Well, and
what were we talking about?
Have cut it before. We always joke when we were growing up. My parents always had my hair long, and my sister's hair short. My sister had the Dorothy Hamill haircut, and I was trying to think of
Mom
another
did
little,
that to us too.
Pixie cut. And as soon as I think we were in middle school, and they've said you can cut your hair the way you want. And the first thing I did was chop my hair off, and the first thing she did was grow hers out because we wanted what we didn't have.
Yeah.
But I found as I got older that short hair is more work. With long hair, I can at least stick it up in a ponytail or, in a
Put
bun.
on a baseball hat.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
With short hair, I felt like I had to do something with it.
You had to
Otherwise,
style it.
yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it was, all over the place.
You can just put yours in a clip.
Yeah. I have a lot of hair. That's the other thing.
It's
I have a lot of
thickest,
hair.
most beautiful
It's thick.
hair.
Yeah.
It takes a curl real well. So it's one of those, So yes, I am lucky to have lovely hair, and it's easy to take care of. So I'll probably keep it long until for a while there were people of a certain age should not have long hair.
That rule is over.
That rule is
That
over.
rule is over.
That rule is
Just
over.
like white after Labor Day. You can do
Yeah.
whatever you want
Yeah.
with your hair any way you want. It is not an age thing. We
Yeah.
see people of all kinds. Do you, the more confident you feel, the more beautiful you
Agree.
are.
And
So.
I think it's so interesting. Pam Walsh has talked about it. It's the pictures of our grandmas at our age versus how we look.
They look so old and
They-
miserable.
yeah,
And
they
never smiled.
Archie Bunker, they were in their 40s.
Yes.
On that
Well, even
show.
the Golden Girls, they
Yeah.
were, I think, only in their 50s. And it's
it's
they looked much older.
Yeah.
I mean, and they styled them. I mean,
Of course.
I think I might look
Intentionally.
older if I, wore a muumuu and had my, a tight perm or something like that. But,
we call them caftans now.
Yeah.
And
And they're cool. They're cool.
we're bringing them back. I think people
We're
are doing
bringing
doing
I
caftan.
think calling it moo-moos was a
Muumuus
bad
are bad,
idea.
but I think they're doing, what do they call it? It's caftan brunch or something.
Yeah.
They're doing like people are wearing these beautiful, and some of them are gorgeous.
Yeah.
Those caftans.
So it's branding.
So
It's
branding. It's
branding.
all
a
branding.
It's a rebranding. I feel like the Real Housewives of like New York caftan the hell out of it.
Well, and Beverly Hills.
okay.
They love their caftans.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
You're lounging by the pool.
Why not?
Exactly.
Why not? Okay,
Exactly.
so we know you're.
I'm having such a beautiful day. I can't even put a bra on.
Oh my gosh. I sent this thing to Shelly where this woman, you know how people do outfit
Outfit of the day.
OOTD, and it's like this woman's wearing a muumuu. And she goes,
a true muumuu, like a Walmart muumuu.
she goes, this is my Walmart muumuu, no bra, and her boobs are gigantic. She just kind of
They're like-
flaps them as she goes. And yes, I'm wearing panties and an always period napkin. And my shoes are, and I got this from Louis Vuitton. She made me laugh.
She did.
I was like, can we get her on the podcast?
her outfit of the day.
Her
It was like-
OOTD. She goes, our outfit of the day. And then she had this other person.
And they're standing in front of the Walmart.
Yeah.
They're like, legit.
It was really cute. It was funny. So you're a South Austinite.
Yes.
Through and through.
Through and through.
Born and raised.
Born and raised.
What hospital?
So actually,
Brackenridge.
take that back. I was not born in Austin.
Uh-huh.
My mom had gone home
Shook again.
to,
Shook again.
to her hometown for a shower, baby shower,
baby
and I was
shower.
born early. So while she was
In
there.
Corpus.
So they lived there from a little bitty town outside of Corpus called Taft. We're talking like 3,000 people
Yeah.
total. And so she went into labor, and then they had to take me to the closest hospital, which was not in Taft, which was in Sinton. So it was even like, I think it's like 10, maybe 12 miles away. So I was born in Sinton, and it is not a hospital anymore. I think now it may be a retirement community.
Mhm.
But yeah, so if
I was born in
that
a retirement
Yeah.
community in Sid.
we would pass it, and it's like, that's where you were born. That's where you were born. So
Oh
I
my
always get to see it.
That's
But
funny.
my sister was born at, I think Breckenridge,
Okay.
the old Breckenridge,
That's where
and
I
then my
was
brother
born,
was
yeah.
born at Seton.
Okay.
So yes, but then we moved. As soon as she was cleared to return home, we came back to Austin. So I
Okay.
lived in Austin all of my life, except when I graduated from UT. I lived in Dallas for like almost a year, and then moved back as soon as Dallas was not the right city for me. I don't think I'm a Dallas type person. I had a great time when I lived there, but I'm a South Austin girl, and
Yeah.
it's not conducive to South Austin girls. So
It seems like a foreign planet to me even today. That but you have to cross the river for
Oh.
work.
yes, I live in far South Austin, Southwest Austin, and then my parents' house is like 5 miles away from where I live, and then I work up by the Domain.
Okay.
So it's like 19 miles,
Yeah.
one way. So
Do you take that thing called Mopac?
yes, I take Mopac, and that we were talking about it this morning. Mondays are the easiest day for commuting, and then I have to go into work Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and those are the days we are required to go to work. Wednesdays are the worst day, and then Thursdays are kind of in between.
Okay.
Typically on Mondays, unless there's an accident or something weird, it'll take me between 25 and 30 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, on Wednesdays it can take me up to an hour.
Yeah.
And then on Thursdays, it's, somewhere between like 30 to 40 minutes, somewhere around there.
And I shared with Benita, one of my favorite things that I've read this year is that New York is the city that never sleeps, and Austin is the city that never works. And you can definitely tell that on Mondays, most
And-
Tuesdays,
And some Fridays.
and Fridays.
Mhm.
It's like
Yeah.
there's no one on the highway
Oh, well, except, coming back,
I know, on
commute
Fridays.
on Fridays are,
because everybody's
Horrible.
trying to get downtown.
or just
There's
get
two-
home from
yeah.
North Austin.
Yeah. So
Oh my
from
gosh.
shopping at the Domain.
Probably, yeah. Oh my God.
So crazy. But yeah, all the South Austin stories, we had a lot of conversations about like different restaurants and fun stuff that happened when we were growing up. And
Yeah.
so,
So
yeah,
funny.
we're big fans of you.
Yeah.
I have
we are.
to say that you, in your free time, what do you do? How do you spend your free time?
So most of my free time is spent on softball, and which is kind of a weird people are always like, how did that happen? And I played growing up, I mean, I did
Yeah.
play, but I wasn't, super competitive. I didn't go to school for it or anything like that. And then I played when I came back to Austin. I started working for a software company. And I mean, literally the first day I was there, Sam said, so we have a softball team. You should come and play with us. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, send me the information. And so I went that first game and, talked to everybody and then started the next week and played on that softball team until we just retired that team.
Oh, wow.
2 years ago because I couldn't do anything anymore because of my knees. And I was the one who kind of ran it at that point,
No.
And so I started playing recreational softball, what was that? I guess 98. And then I about 10 years ago, I had a neighbor who moved in across the street from us. And we were just chatting one day and she got a package and she's like, oh, it's my new glove. And I was like, you play softball? And she said, yes, I play on the Sunday league. And so for women's softball, I played co-ed. There are not very many opportunities to play league softball. You can play on a tournament team. So there's lots and lots of teams that you can play and compete in tournaments. But to play like every week, with the same group of people every week against, a league of teams, there's nothing in Austin.
Wow. That's shocking.
Yeah, it is. It's very, very shocking. And there are tons of women softball players.
Yes.
But she was like, yeah, I play on the Sunday league. And we started chatting. And like I said, she was a new neighbor, so we didn't really know each other that well. And then it turned out, she's like, oh yeah, I do play a little bit of co-ed. And she knew some of the same people. She's like, you should come out and see the team and meet everybody. And so I went out and watched her team and, had a really, really, great time. And she was like, we're fixing to start a new team. I'd love for you to join. And so I joined her team, and through her women's team, they call it opens because men and women can play on these teams, but they're primarily men's teams. Anyway, so she had several friends who played open, and so I got to meet some of the guys who played on that team, and and they said, hey, they were starting a new team as well, and they were looking for a manager to help them manage their team, and so I started managing that team. And so, yeah, I mean, that's how I kind of got involved in Softball Austin League. So I started with the women. And at one time I had 3 teams. I had a women's team and 2 men's teams that I was managing. But I only have 1 team right now. We're hoping to bring back another open team. Unfortunately, like the great thing about, like I said, having a weekly league was that there's nothing else like that here in Austin right now. But the unfortunate part about it is that because most of the women who play serious softball typically play on tournaments, it's really hard for them to do both, because they'll typically have to go out of town for a tournament and then they can't play on the Sunday league. Or, I would say it's like, I'm not trying to be stereotypical, but let's say you're a mom and your kid is sick. Right. The mom is the one who's going to say, I'm going to skip softball so I can take care of my kid. Whereas the guy is going to be like, yeah, I'll come to my softball game and then I'll go straight home. Yeah. So someone's got to stay home with the kid and it's typically the mom. Yeah. Right. So they'll typically choose, their other influences become more important to them. Right. So it's really hard to kind of keep a steady team going. But it's my love. I really do enjoy it. Yeah. For a long time, it was all I did. I guess between the 3 teams, I only traveled when, softball related, for a tournament. And I went some great places, but it was typically like get there early, maybe see the city for a day, and then do tournament, Saturday, Sunday, and then turn around and come back. So, I'd go to Palm Springs and then really only get one day there to, visit. Stop. So that's the only, I guess, the negative. And now that it's only 1 team, I'm finally like able to, enjoy my Sundays and travel for other reasons, go to fun places just to go to fun places, It's a
big
cool.
commitment.
Yeah, it is a big commitment.
Do you get paid to be the manager?
No, not at all.
And who pays for your travel?
I do. Wow. It's like everybody does kind of pay for their own travel. Yeah. There are some teams that, are sponsored. And so they have bars or restaurants or businesses, pay for their either jerseys or the registration fees. I always joke that the Sana Naga League, which is what we play in, are not inexpensive at all. This is not, your cheap softball at all.
Right.
The tournament fees are high. Most of the tournaments are typically out of town, so we do have to travel. So it does, take some commitment from everybody as far as financial resources. But it gives us so much. I mean, we have a lot of fun. Most of my very, very good friends I've met through softball, and become dear, like friends, like family. That kind of. But and also, so I started in the league, like I said, about 10 years ago, which also kind of coincided when I got divorced. And so I always tell people it's like it gave me something to do, get me out of the house. I got to meet, like I said, a tribe of people who took care of me, made sure I was, I don't say eating right and getting sleep, but I mean, they looked out for me.
Yeah, it's like a little family.
Yeah. And it was also just a way to keep my mind off of other things, and onto something, enjoyable and fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
love it.
I had
Where do
no
y'all
idea.
practice?
So
Craig?
we play double headers. That's another nice thing about it. So you go and there's 2 games versus going for an hour and then, turning around and going back. So you're there usually about 2.5 to 3 hours. But we play over at Craig Softball Complex, which is over off of South Lake Shore, by the lake. So
nice.
Next to Secret Beach.
Yes. Shelly loves that area for sure. Do you have kids?
Yes. I have one son who is 25, and he lives here in Austin. He lives up north. When he was in school, he went to school in New York. So he graduated from high school, went to school in New York during COVID.
Wow.
So yeah,
that would have been hard.
Yeah, it was really hard. And it was also, he's in this great city.
Couldn't really experience it.
So he had a different kind of experience than others, but he still, towards the end especially, he still got to enjoy the city. He made some great friends. He did get a job offer in New York, but it really wasn't a serious, it wasn't a big boy job.
Right.
And so, it was like, okay, well, if you want to do this, then, you're welcome to stay and we'll help you, but we're not going to pay for your rent. You're going to have to make enough money to support yourself and be able to, live in New York, in the city that you love. And his roommate had a chance to study abroad.
Oh.
And so she left. And so there's no way he could afford to live by himself.
Right.
So he said, okay, I guess I'll just come back. And then he was lucky and he found, work here in town. And he still had tons of friends who still lived here. So it wasn't like he was moving to another new city.
The transition wasn't that bad.
Yeah. And, he's, like I said, he's got friends. He lives in a cute little house and he enjoys his work. And I see him all the time. So we have a very, very close relationship. I don't think we ever intended to have only one child. We couldn't have any more, so which makes him, even more precious. So I think some of our relationship is because he was an only, and some of it was just because, he was an only, not by choice. So.
Right. Did he play sports as well?
No, I mean he played. I shouldn't say he played. He ran cross country, and then he was big into theater when he was at Bowie at high school.
Oh, nice.
And so, when those big school like that, it's kind of like, college or UT, stuff like that. You have to kind of find your own team or your own tribe, so that you have some connection to the school. And especially when it's like that, there are big clubs there. So he was lucky in that he made lots and lots of friends. He enjoyed his, theater years. He did cross country until he lettered. But he would go to school at he'd have to be there at 7 because they run in the morning, and then he had theater in the afternoon.
Oh, wow.
So
7 to 7.
Yeah, it was typically like that.
Wow.
So it was
day.
rough. Yeah, it was a rough time.
I know he just was an extra in a movie. Would he like to be an actor?
He never really wanted to do that. When he was in school, he went for business, because that was the other thing. It's like, oh, I think I'll major in history. And it's like, you are not going to New York. We're not paying to send you to a private school in New York and then paying for housing for you to get a history degree. For that, you go to Texas State,
Yeah, right.
So, you need a job you need a degree that you could get a job right out of college. And so he did business with the thinking that maybe he would go to law school or try to do production. Or the other thing that he which is what his job offer was for an agent. He worked for an agent his last year and loved the experience. He thought it was just the greatest thing. And we're talking a small agent who, had a large clientele of, more second tier, maybe even third tier actors, a lot of comedians, but he really did enjoy that work.
Oh, yeah.
And so he had thought about doing that. But, the Austin scene is not nearly as as vibrant as New York. And so the opportunities to do something like that here are very, very limited. So, but, he still, enjoys, comedy. He still enjoys, he loves movies and theater and TV. And so he does, like to do and be a part of that. But I don't know that that's something that he really wants to pursue as a job or career now. So I think it's kind of a young person's, and he's young, but I mean, it's like you got to do it right away. Otherwise, you get kind of used to.
You got to build those relationships.
And it's like a grind for sure.
Our neighbor is a music manager. He manages a lot of country music artists. And he started very young and built those relationships and he finally, it is.
It's hard. It's a hard business.
It's a hard.
And I think starting over here. So when he got here, like I said, he kind of looked into it. But again, it's much smaller. The market is much smaller, and he was literally having to start from scratch. Whereas, when he was there, he'd already kind of built some relationships.
Yeah.
So it really was like starting over, and he didn't have a mentor or somebody to kind of help guide him, and so it's like I'll just do something else.
Yeah.
Which.
So you've raised your beautiful son, and you are now in the "it's our time" twilight of your life.
I love it.
You put all these other people before yourself.
Well,
and
she
now,
still does it with her softball
I know.
league.
Oh, have you ever found love on the softball field?
Oh, I purposely try not to date anybody who works with me or is involved with softball.
Okay.
Because I did at one time, and it was when we broke up. It was very awkward.
I mean, it's a team destroyer.
Yeah. Well, and he actually was not on my team, and he actually didn't even play.
So you went to the opposing team.
Oh, wow.
He didn't play. He played.
Let me ruin your team.
Well, he played in a league up north, but we had some common friends, and so I knew him through softball.
Yeah.
But he didn't play on my team, like I said, or play on one of my friends'
he
teams.
played on your team.
But it was very awkward when we broke up. I mean, it wasn't like people had to take sides. It didn't become anything like that.
Yeah.
But it was just, it was uncomfortable when I saw him. And then he started dating right away again. And it was just like, I don't want to be around this. It was just way too weird.
Yeah.
And so I was like, no, I'm not going to do that again. So it's
a little saying called don't shit where you eat.
Yes, exactly.
But he was up north and she's south.
Well,
That's totally different.
We knew people. It was hard.
I would think that would be hard. Like if you saw the person and they had already moved on and you're like, wait a minute, what happened? Yeah, that would be hard. So are you looking to start a relationship?
Yes, I am. It's like I have tried the dating apps and didn't really like it.
What dating app?
I only really did Bumble.
Okay.
I liked the idea that the girl
it's
reaches
women,
out first,
right? Mm-hmm.
And
being a Leo, or a Cancer, who knows?
My problem was always that I try to keep busy, and so it's like I'd like someone, and then I guess they have 24 hours to respond, and then you have 24 hours to respond. The window would close. My 24 hours would go up, and it's like, and I was constantly a pumpkin.
You're like, who is
yes,
this?
Exactly. I was like, oh, darn it, I missed, missed the opportunity. So I really did try once they did respond to say something, but then it would be a day or two before I'd ever get a chance to connect. But it's like I met, some interesting people. I went out on a lot of dates. I still go out on a lot of dates. My friends always tease me. They're like, you keep really, really busy. It's like, yes, I date a lot. But I haven't met anybody who I've, really like, oh, this is the one. There've been some that I've, gone out with for a period of time. But nobody that, I've ever felt like really
This is it.
Yeah. Or even like that, this is love or whatever.
Right.
So,
Well, if you ever get back on the dating apps again, we interviewed a guy who
Who's a
had
comedian.
a dating app
Coach.
and she helped him get his app right and how to do the apps correctly.
Yeah.
And she coaches you
trying
on,
to
and
find
she
her.
sets up your profile and everything.
Ah.
And we're trying to get her on the podcast because a lot of people, in our busy.
Well, he was saying
Hi.
he's a comedian, and he like put up his thing, and there were some of his reactions. He said came across creepy.
The way he would creep it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Like,
she was like, no,
his
no, no, no,
his
no.
humor
Let's
may
redo
not
this.
have been,
Yeah.
it didn't translate well onto a text.
Right.
Exactly.
So
she coached him through. It was
Yeah.
like,
And
I-
he's-
like
he's
he was
met
like,
some
hey,
people.
yeah, let's go on a 4-mile hike, and people were like,
In the forest.
no, I'm not.
Just the two of us.
I'm going
Yes.
on a hike with
That
you,
sounds
and your
creepy.
dog for
Well, but
4 hours.
And it's also weird because there are some people who it is intentional. They'll say like, let me pick you up. And it's like, no, I don't want, it's like, let's meet there. Or they immediately want to get off the app. And it's like, no, I'd like to just chat on here for a little while before I give you my telephone number and, other information. And they're like, well, why? You don't
You're
trust
the
me?
one.
And it's like, I don't know. Yeah, that's it. It's like,
I'm
I
trying to
don't
propose
know
to you here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then
Well,
I actually went on
listen.
a coffee date, because I typically try to do coffee or a drink for an hour. First date, because like just to see like, is there attraction? Is there like something
I
there?
think that's so smart. Short and sweet.
Super smart.
Yes. And
we'll meet
yes,
there.
and we'll meet there and we go in and out and it's like, oh, it's great. And I have friends who are like, but what if you like them and you want it to last longer? It's like, well, then we can go out on another date.
Exactly.
I'm not Cinderella. It's not like, it ends right when, we only have this one window. But like, we went this great coffee date. We're having a good conversation, and he kept talking again, like you're almost like you're the one. It's like, when you meet my parents, and when you when you see when you see my house, and then at the end he's like, so how do you think this is going? Where do you think this is going now?
You're scaring the hell out of me, buddy.
And so I was like, well, it's like I thought,
Just coffee.
we'd
Hit
get
the
another
brakes,
coffee.
bud.
I said, but if you want to run to Jared's across the street, we can go look at rings, And then he was like, well, I didn't mean that. It's like, what did you mean? Meeting your parents and seeing your house and where are we going? It's like, we're just having coffee.
Oh,
It was just so
Slow your roll,
much.
bud.
Yeah, it's like,
that's
they're like
funny.
at 12 and I need you down here at like at 8.
Right.
Oh my god.
I mean, be into me, but not that into me yet.
Yeah.
We
But
don't know each
it's a
other.
hard line because
Oh, it's so interesting.
I told somebody once, it's like you want to seem interested, but you don't want to seem needy.
Yeah.
You want to seem available, but you don't want to seem desperate.
Right.
There's just like so many things. You can't be too forward because then they're like, why is she
You
telling
want
me
to
all
be
this?
curious, but
Yes.
you don't want to be curious.
Yes, you don't want to be stalkerish. It's so hard.
You don't want to reveal everything in the first date. Yeah.
So-
I hear
Oh,
you.
this tightrope.
Yeah. Shelly's like, I want to give you the whole pie
I
right
know,
now.
here's the whole damn pie.
Euphemism
Take
at
it-
all.
Take it or don't.
But
With my Skims panties.
I'm wearing
You
panties
don't like
now.
that? Okay, I'll take that. Okay, what's your age group that you usually are interested in? Or your range?
Like my range is like 48 to like 58, 60.
I think you
Okay.
need to go a little younger, Dolly.
So the trouble with the younger guys is that typically they have I shouldn't say typically, a lot of them will have smaller, younger children.
Yeah.
And I'm not really wanting to do that again.
Yeah,
Sure,
you want
sure.
somebody
You know.
without like a
But
bunch of
somebody
kids.
that's like 42 without kids or
It
older
gets harder, is what she said.
Yeah.
It gets harder to, this pool is smaller, of what I'm looking for because, and I've met a couple who are like, that's what they want to start having kids or they had,
Oh my
small, they want to have,
God.
another one. It's like, I'm not doing that. It's like, I got a 25-year-old.
Yeah.
Why would anybody want to go back and do
I
all
don't want to
that
go back in
again?
time.
So, I always joke, it's like, and I've had, it's like you're talking to them. They're so nice. It's really, attractive, whatever. And then they're like, I'm 36. It's like, yeah, you have to have a 4 in front of that age before I'll even.
I feel like that's fair.
Yeah. So,
How long have you been single? When was your last full relationship?
relationship was probably 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So and we
You're
had,
ready.
yeah, and we had seen each other for about off and on really for about 2 years. And then at the end, it was like this really needs to be off.
Right.
It was more of a
Booty call. I'm
no,
sorry.
more of a I can't quit you, but you're bad for me. you
Yeah.
know?
It's
More
like
of a,
candy.
yes,
Like
more
chocolate.
like smoking.
Yeah, like cigarettes. Yeah, like that pack of Winstons.
Yeah. Which we did when we were like 7 and 8. We would smoke our mom's cigarettes. All right. What would be like a dream? Like, who's your celebrity crush?
Oh gosh. So it used to be, I haven't seen him in forever, so I don't know if he would still be. But my celebrity crush used to be Antonio Banderas.
Oh, yes.
I just thought he was so handsome, and I liked even with the long hair, and
yeah,
and then
handsome.
for a while he had like a beard, and
Yes,
I loved the accent. Let's see, but I like kind of that, tall, dark, and handsome kind of look. George Clooney, those, older, more mature. I don't know that I can appreciate, somebody attractive like Glenn Powell, but I don't know that I would ever date somebody like that, And I kind of, I remember telling somebody, it's like, I kind of like when the whole dad bod came out, it's like, yeah, that's exactly it. I like a guy who I know is going to drink beer and eat pizza and, likes to, do stuff, but isn't like living in the gym, who has fun. And, it's not all about like how I look and,
just a balance.
Yeah.
Balance it out. Yeah. Who can do a hike but doesn't need to just, hey, we're not eating that. We're, we're protein loading today.
Yes, and we're not hiking every day.
Juicing.
We're juicing. Yes.
What would be a dream date for you?
So I actually went on a fabulous date. I think it was in the summer. And I had met this guy at a river trip that a friend of ours had planned, and we hit it off. And so it's like, let's go out. And so we went out and we went to shore over by us and, had dinner, had oysters, and like that a really, really good fish dish.
I get
and
it.
then we went down to Town Lake and actually went and saw a band.
Did you shore for dinner or brunch?
We did it for first dinner.
Okay.
And it was, like I said, it was in the summer, so it was still light out at 6:30 or 7 or whatever. And then we went and watched music. I think it was at Saxon. And then it got dark, and we went to Town Lake, and we had wine, just like almost like a picnic, but except it was just wine and cheese. And just like chatted and had a great night. It was so wonderful.
That is a great date.
It was like, it was perfect. He planned everything right. It's like, we took Uber, so we didn't have to worry about driving, and it was just perfect. And then he moved to Costa Rica like the next day.
Oh my gosh.
So, and we chatted, but it's like,
that is a really good date.
It was a really good date.
I mean,
it was
can
perfect.
you go visit him in Costa Rica?
Yeah,
it's like he calls every once in a while. And I mean, it's like he had sold his business and retired. And he was from Kansas City. So he was just like, kind of passing through. But yeah, it was
Wow.
perfect. But yeah, he lives in Costa Rica now.
Take some notes, guys. That is a very good date.
Wow.
Well, what's the worst date you've ever been on?
Oh, God, I've been on a lot of really bad dates. I mean, really bad. My friends all laugh. They used to be like, tell us another story.
I
'cause
know,
it was just
I love single
so
stories.
bad.
That's why we do this show.
Just to hear. So one time I went out with this guy who we met for a drink over, I want to say like, it was on the east side, like Manor Road area, kind of over there. There's tons of cute little bars.
Yeah.
And so when I got there, I met him there. He already had a drink, and we started, chatting, and, he was telling me about, his life, and, he had been married and divorced, and he had his child, and we had a nice conversation. He was very, very friendly, and it was funny, but so like I said, he had a drink. I had ordered a drink. He had another drink. Then he had another drink. And then, I think he may have even had another drink. And then it's like, okay, well, I need to run. I need to get home. And I had something going on. And it's like, so, we can chat again some other time. He's like, well, let me walk you to your car. And it's like, okay. So he walks me to my car. Before he leaves, he's like, can I have another margarita or whatever it was?
Whoa.
In an hour, he had like 5 or 6
Margaritas?
Margaritas, yeah. Drinks. And so he walks me to my car, says goodnight, whatever it is. it's like, and I paused and I was like, man, but maybe he was nervous, because sometimes, you drink more when you're
Right.
a little, it gives you a little courage or whatever it is. And then he proceeds to like blow my phone up the whole night, drunk calling me, This is like, it was like block. I mean, I had to finally block him because I don't really like doing that, but it was like, yeah, no, can't do that at all.
What were some of the messages?
That just, it started off like, had such a good time. I really want to see you again.
Why are you ignoring me?
Yeah, but then it got to the end, and it's like, and then it was like, maybe, well, if you're not really busy, maybe I can come by.
Oh,
so it was like, it progressed from like, we had so much fun, and it's like, oh, call me back or just text me later. And then it was like another one's like, oh, we haven't called back, so I was just curious if you were still. And then it was like, if you're still around, if you're still up, maybe I can come by and we can just, finish our conversation. And then it was like, and then it got to be like, why are you not calling me back? I've left 3 messages. I've left 6 messages. Yeah, I mean, it really was. It was like,
Benita, that's so scary.
It was. It was so
angry drunk.
Yes, angry drunk. But it was so funny because it was like 6 drinks, in like an hour.
Oh God, poor guy. I feel bad for him.
It's like, but and then I went out with a guy. We had dinner at Flores by us,
and
it was
had diarrhea. Just kidding. I'll be in the bathroom for 4 hours.
Excuse me.
Just kidding, Flores.
Oh my goodness. But he had and he'd like, I think I was leaving out of town. I used to travel a lot for work at my old job, and I was leaving out of town. So it was like, he kept trying. It's like, no, I'm going to be out of town. I get back in town, but I'm So it was like, okay, literally, it's like, I'm leaving it tomorrow, but we can do dinner tonight. It's like, okay. So we met at Flores, had a nice conversation. So he spent the entire time talking about his ex-wife, and not in a really flattering way at all.
Yeah.
Just she was,
Men take notes.
She was angry and she was possessive and she was only in it for the money. And I mean, just like, she had a temper and she would do all these kinds of things. And I mean, just, vindictive, and I mean, just on and on and on. And it's like, so, and they hadn't been married that long. And I said, so you didn't know that she had like an issue with her parents, and you didn't know all this stuff never came up when y'all were dating? And he was like, well, actually, I met her in Peru. And I was like, what? And he's like, he had gone to Peru. I think it was Peru. It was like a South American country, maybe Central American country, and had joined a dating app there. And had matched with this woman, and they went out on 2 dates, and then they continued to have, like conversations, and then he like had her come into the U.S. and then married her. So she was like 90 Day Fiance.
Oh my God.
So yes, he didn't know any of this stuff about her because he didn't know her. He just like married this woman, and she married him because she, wanted an American husband.
Yeah.
But it was like, oh my God. So, he's just like, no. And I'm like, on one hand, I was like, tell me more. This is so exciting,
this
so
is
interesting.
fascinating.
Yes, because I love that show.
You're like, I got a script.
Yes. But then it's like, okay, well, I got to go. He's like, all right, let me walk you to your car. It's like, all right. So, I gave him a hug, he kisses me on the cheek, and then he like goes in for like a kiss. And it's like, well, it's so nice meeting you. And he's like, well, same thing. Do you want some help packing? And it's like, no, I'm leaving. I really,
this
yes.
is so creepy.
Oh my
Yes, it's so, it's like, I'm good.
I got something for you to pack.
Yeah.
In your vagina.
Yeah.
Your vagina.
I mean, it was very much a, like,
Gross.
you really, it's like, you don't know, this could be the best night of your life. And it's just like,
well, and hold on, asshole. You know nothing about me either, because all we've done is talk about your ex.
Exactly. This is
I could be
exactly it.
just as,
as
insane.
crazy as
Yeah. I'm sorry. And Jody talks about this all the time. If you're saying my ex is crazy,
Yeah. When men say that, I'm like,
So you have to take a moment and do some reflecting.
Well,
did you make
what's wrong
her
with
crazy?
your picker? What's wrong with your picker?
Or did you make her crazy?
Or yeah. But
well, and
come
I think
on.
all women have a little bit of crazy.
We all
We
do.
do.
All
Even
humans,
men do.
all humans have a little bit of
Yeah.
crazy.
And so, it's like making sure that your
You
crazy
could either
is not
tip the scale, though.
Yeah.
You could be the little last grain of rice that tips the scale. Believe me.
into full blown.
But I don't think it's I don't think it's a first date,
No.
10th date, deep dive conversation to have. Yes, I'm divorced.
I mean, unless they're like stalking you, or
Yeah.
unless you need to,
Yeah.
like, or they have a history of
Listen.
stalking your, new dates or whatever it is. But
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's like
Well, if you're talking about like ex relationships, that one
has
just didn't
that
work for
happened
me.
to
No.
you? Oh God.
you're like, that would
with
be
the
great.
ex, with the ex like going after you.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow.
So you've had some icks. What are some deal breakers for you?
Smoking is a deal breaker.
Okay.
My dad died of lung disease, and so and he smoked for years. But it's like I'm not going to choose somebody who's going to go down the
I
lesson.
feel like the
Yeah.
smell of smoke. I just sounded like a smoker.
The
smell of smoke is a little triggering for me.
Yeah. We had smoke. Our mom and dad smoked
Yeah.
when we were growing up, and so it does bring back.
It's like you're
Some
gonna
memory.
die.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's what my
Well,
mentality is.
It kind of gives like a haze, a smell, and
Yes.
yeah.
It just is, and like I don't even, it's a choice, and I kind of understand it more for our generation than I do younger generations because it's like knowing everything that you know now.
Yeah.
Why would you choose to start smoking?
They're just, they're usurping they're just like, we're going to stick it to the world. We think we're invincible. I remember feeling like I was invincible. And we smoked when we were like 10, so we got it out of the way. All right. So smoking is a no. What are some other deal breakers?
I'm trying to think. Like, I'd like somebody who I give pause if someone is not close with their family. Part of it's because I am so close with mine.
Right.
But also it's like at some point you're thinking like, well, why does your family not like you?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the history? And there's dysfunction in every family. I'm not saying
for sure.
But the fact that none of your family talks to you, that to me is, a red flag.
You're estranged from your children?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I mean, and I actually
Yeah.
went out with a guy once, and he was like, "Yeah, and he said, we've had some issues, and blah blah blah." And it's like, I couldn't go a day without talking to my child. I can't imagine like not having a relationship with my child.
I mean, it could give you pause. There can be people that have some things that they have to get away from in their family. That's unhealthy. So, but I understand that would give me pause too if everybody had isolated you from the family. It would be like, oh, what's going on there?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's at least a pause or a deal breaker.
Yeah, I was trying to think of anything else. I mean, obviously addiction. I mean,
Yeah.
I could appreciate someone being sober or
recovering.
Yes, I just don't know that I would want
If they
to
were
be
actively in it.
it's just it's a hard. Nobody lies like an addict, and so it's just I have dated
Best
someone who's
liars
like
ever.
that. Yes,
Yeah.
and it was crazy. Like,
Right.
and then later on, when he got sober, clean or whatever, he would tell me stuff, and I'd be like, "Wait a second, was that this time?" And I would realize like all the times that he had lied to me. It just made me totally distrust, our whole relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I realized it's like, oh, when you said this, it wasn't true,
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Wow, yeah. Well,
that's so
I could see those
painful.
being at least, some pauses or some concerns.
Yeah.
What about some yums? What are some?
let's see. I like tall men.
Slurpee.
I like tall men.
What do you consider tall?
Like 5'10".
Because you're pretty petite.
Yeah.
I'm 5'3". My dad was tall.
Yeah.
I joke that all the men I dated before I married my husband were all tall, 6 feet or higher, and then I married a man who was like 5'8".
Yeah.
So tall men are attracted to me. My friends tease me because it's like tall men, tattoos. I don't have a single tattoo on my body and have no desire to get it, but I
Is
just
it because
think
your
it's,
body's a Bentley? Who puts a bumper sticker on a Bentley?
my body is a temple.
Yes.
No, I've never found anything that I wanted like permanently on my body. And also when we went to Vegas this last July, everybody in their group except for me and one other person, the birthday boy, got those little $10 tattoos. They all got tattoos. But I told him, was like, I don't know anybody who has just one tattoo. It's addicting. They get one tattoo and they're already either like planning their next tattoo or what they're going to do to this tattoo.
Yeah.
I mean, they just, it's like
it snowballs.
Yes, it snowballs very quickly.
Well, once you do it and realize it's easy and, pain-free and whatever, then you're like, where else?
Yeah. Where else can
what
I
about
do?
my side boob?
Yeah.
It's like, where else can I put one?
So, yeah.
It becomes a little
It
easier.
is. It does snowball. It's like, where?
But you're okay if men have tattoos.
Oh, I love
you
it
just
when they have
prefer.
tattoos. I just don't, I'm not going to have a tattoo.
Yeah.
But yes, I love tattoos.
Yeah.
Facial hair. I like men to have facial hair. Although I have dated clean shaven, but what else?
Those are some good yums.
Yeah, I'd like a smart man. I like someone who's going to challenge me.
Yeah.
Not debate me. I don't really want to, fight.
Yeah.
But yes, I would love, to date somebody who
teaches you new things,
Yes.
helps you to grow.
It's curious.
I love that.
Curious is
Curious
a
is
very
a good
good.
I love that.
Are you a pet person?
Yes, I have a rescue dog. When Jack moved back from New York, he lived with me for a couple years. While he was trying to figure out what he was going to do, and then when he was trying to figure out where he was going to live, and then I had knee surgery, and so it was like, so he had to help take care of me, or at least the house. But when he was going to move out with his friends, it was like, and now I'm going to be by myself. And his dog we had put his dog down, who was like 15. I think I was going to say 15. So it was, it was like, okay, well, we need to figure this out. So I adopted a rescue. And her name is Ladybird. She is a total mutt. I mean, we are talking a total mutt. I did the whole ancestry for dogs, or I don't know what it's called, but she's like 11 breeds. Primarily, like 50% of her is, I think it's like 25% is, or like 35% is chocolate lab, and then like 25% is Doberman. And then she's a bunch of other things.
What size?
She's about 50 pounds.
Okay.
She looks like, I guess, more like a lab, except her face is sort of Doberman. It's like long, pointy nose. She's a crackhead. She's like such a spaz. She's very much
she comes from a long line of prostitution.
Exactly. I'm constantly getting notices that say, we found another sibling of Ladybird. And most of them are like distant relatives. There's only been like 2 or 3 of them. Yes, it's like we found it, and I'll look at it.
The code of serial killers and stuff.
But yeah, she's super sweet. She's the first female dog I've ever had, and she's the first large dog I've ever had. All our other dogs have been small, and boys. But it's like I love her to death. She's like, I never let my dogs like on the couch. I never, let them sleep with me. But she is the run of my bed, the run of the house, the run of the furniture. It's like she's a child. She's not a pet. She's my baby.
Oh,
so yes, she's very, very sweet.
I'm sorry. What's her name?
Ladybird.
Oh, Ladybird.
Ladybird.
Yes. I was like, I love that name. What was the name?
That's so cute. Okay, you've answered almost all of the questions, but we get into some dirty questions real quick, and we only have like 5 minutes. Are you ready? It's going to be quick fire pretty much.
Real fast. Best sports bar in Austin?
So what are we talking about? To watch a game?
Yeah.
To experience?
All of it.
So I really love Cover 3. I still love Cover 3. It's still one of my favorites, but mainly because I like the food, mainly because I know the owners.
Yeah.
They're big, UT supporters. When I was growing up, the Posse was my bar. It's like, that's where we watch all our games.
Yeah.
Yes. And then, I was trying to think. I really like the new 1972, the new women's bar. That is
we love
really
the owners.
That is such a fun place.
Yeah, we interviewed them there. It's a great
every single
place.
time I go
Food's
there,
delish.
isn't it so good?
Yeah.
But every single time I've gone there to watch a game, of course I'm going like for the women's championship or like the basketball. It's like there's nobody. There's no place to sit. I'm like,
it's packed.
So if I'm not going to watch something like particular, I'm just going to hang out. So.
Yeah.
Nice.
Love it. Okay, are you DTF?
Down to fuck.
Okay, I was like, I was trying to use Jersey Shore, wasn't it? That started that?
I think
yes, definitely. Definitely.
Okay. Would you rather only have sex in missionary position or only do doggy style?
So you have to choose one or the other?
Okay, good answer.
Let me over.
Would you rather have amazing sex that lasts 47 seconds or average sex that lasts 10 minutes?
47 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Would you
Of heaven.
rather only have sex in the shower or only on the floor?
On the floor.
Mm-hmm. Would you rather have
We're
sex?
too old to shower. We could
Somebody's
fall.
gonna break a
for
hip.
him. Yeah.
It's not
Would you-
wet. It's not water. It's not the good kind of wet.
Yeah. Would you rather have sex with someone who has bad breath or have sex with someone who calls you love bunny while you're doing it?
Oh.
Love bunny.
It talks to you in a baby voice.
In a baby
No.
voice.
No. I was trying to think. It's like,
Mama.
so do they have bad breath all the time?
Was it just coffee breath?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can get like a good dental program going for them. It's fixable, but a baby voice, I don't know.
I went out with a guy one time who was, we had just amazing, like our texts and our conversation, like so great. And then he walked in and he had that kind of voice.
Oh,
and I told somebody else, like,
Benita.
I could have gone with, anything else. But and when he would say my name, it was just like, no. And that's what, I also pictured like, you're having sex and he says something like, no.
oh, you're making me so hard.
That sounds so awful. All right, last one. Would you rather not be able to see during sex or not being able to touch during sex?
Not be able to see.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, blindfold.
Yeah, blindfolded and handcuffs.
Not handcuffs.
No handcuffs. Benita, you are an open book.
Jam, we love you.
You are definitely a catch. You've got your craft together. You've got your head on straight. You're fun.
She's one of my neighbors.
You're not a boring person to go out with.
No.
I love your dream date.
Her
I
light
think
is on.
anybody should
Her
go.
light
Your
is
light
on.
is on. Somebody's got to pick you up. We
Yeah.
have some options that we're thinking of.
Yeah.
So, but if you would like to get in touch with Benita, look at the show notes and contact Shelly. She will vet you, make sure you're not a creeper. And then
you don't have a baby voice.
and you can't have a baby voice. And then we will get this love connection going.
Woo!
We love you, Benita.
Hey, do you know how we sign off the show? Do you know what we say?
Oh, is it Texas, Texas?
Yeehaw.